Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'll give it a minute for people to join, and then we'll start for another webinar. Yes, we have quite a few people joining. I'm already seeing 1,000, Steve, so big audience tonight.
Great.
So
awesome.
That's good. So let me start because it's 9 o'clock here in Europe. Welcome everyone to this very special webinar. Before we start, as always, some housekeeping. Also tonight, we're offering interpretation into 9 languages. We have German, we have Italian, Romanian, French, Czech, Hungarian, Spanish, Polish, and Portuguese. So if you want to use one of those languages and you're on a desktop, you see on the left side how that works. You go to that interpretation icon, click and select your language. Then you also have the option to mute the English language, and I would suggest you do that, otherwise you have 2 languages. If you're joining us on the phone, you'll have the 3-dot icon in the app of Zoom. Also there you have the option to select the language that you want and to mute the English language. So you should be having the right translation for you. So, I think that we're all set. It's time to get started, and a quick background why we're having this call. I think we're very fortunate to have Steve join us back in January at the energy event in Barcelona a few weeks back. He came specifically for us for that one event from Australia. So that was really, really great to have you there, Steve. But we would have liked you to visit a lot more markets. We have 25 markets here in our region. So we thought it's such a great story that we want to make sure that we had an opportunity for more people to listen to your presentation. It's so relevant for us. It speaks about the company vision, the future direction, but also very much about product and specifically our devices. And that's what we find very relevant in our region. We love the devices. We just had a great rose gold LumiSpa IO system launch in January. We're now very focused on our preview coming up for TRME and then our launch. And then actually we also look very much forward to our first real season in spring, where we're going to maximize the WellSpa IO device as well. So I think all those elements are so exciting for us, and it's really fantastic to have you with us. So we're really happy that you're here. Quick background about you, Steve, for everybody on this call. You were appointed Executive Vice President and Chief Product Officer in 2021. Before that, you served as the Senior Vice President of Global Products. You are a member of our Nu Skin Global Management Team since 2018. And before that, you have over 30 years experience in global wellness and beauty innovation. So I think we're very happy to have you in the team, and we're very happy and honored to have you here, Steve. So the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Michael. Michelle, it's just such a privilege. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity. When you reached out, I thought I get another opportunity to hang out with some of these amazing people I got to meet. I made some new friends while I was in Europe and in Spain, both in Brussels and Belgium and so forth. And I'm excited about my next return there. I can't wait. It was just such a warm reception, and I just loved hanging out with you and also talking to people who are committed to health and wellness and to building a business. And so just want to say thank you, Michelle, for inviting me to be back. It's really quite a privilege for me personally. And I'm so excited. I am here in Provo. So the good news is that after I'm done here, I get to go to my home, which is nice. But for right now, for the next few minutes, I'll be with you, and I'm willing to answer any questions or anything else that you might have that comes up. But I'm excited to share with you some information that I think will be quite interesting. What's really also interesting is I had a chance to talk with Ryan Napierski on Friday, and I was talking to him about this upcoming presentation, and I shared with him some of the evolution of the beauty and wellness and our approach to beauty and wellness. And he said, "Oh, we've got to make sure everybody sees this. This is unbelievable. This is from a product standpoint. So hopefully I'll connect some dots today for some of you, and I'm super excited to share it. And as usual, as you know, Michelle, I never do the same presentation twice. So this is, yes, it's everything I presented when I was in Barcelona, but then a little bit more. So, so I'm excited for that. So anyways, so I'm gonna see if I can share my screen here, and we can get this rolling. I'm wondering if okay, is that coming through?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect. You know what's interesting? And I'll start off this way. It's really, really important. Of course, this is a picture of Steve Lund, our chairman, and Steve is such an inspiration to all of our affiliates and leaders and around the world. But he's also to all of us here in Provo. He is exactly the same wherever he is. He's a man of integrity. And I just had a board meeting with Ryan earlier last week, and Steve, of course, the chairman of the board. He always wanted to make sure if I ever have the opportunity to talk to the leadership in the field, to remind them of what we're doing. And we are truly trying to be a force for good. And I hope that message comes loud and clear. That's not just a bunch of words. It's not just a silly trite phrase. It's really what we're trying to do. And so from all of us here in Provo, we love you. We're grateful for you wherever you are in your Nu Skin journey. And hopefully today you'll hear some things that'll help you, and then in turn you'll help others. So we didn't get here yesterday. I mean, it's not like it's just like it happened overnight. There's a 40-year evolution that took place, and we're super excited about where we are today, and we're excited about the next 40 years. But as I'm showing this, this is showing the building up of the innovation center that we've built here at in Provo over the course of several years, and it didn't just happen overnight, and neither did Nu Skin. There's been a lot of work, a lot of refinement. There's a lot of hard work and toil, a lot of challenges, a lot of setbacks. There is not a day that goes by that there isn't some challenge in the world somewhere. And as Sandy Tillotson famously said so many times, she said her and Blake and Steve, they all quit. They just didn't quit on the same day, and somehow they managed to stay together and keep this thing going. And then we all do it. And so I think that's true for all of us, right? We may have doubts, we may have frustrations, we have challenges and so forth, but this is a process, and Nu Skin is unique. There's a reason why there's very few companies that have done what Nu Skin has done. There isn't that many people who have done this. And so, and you can basically count on one hand, well, the number of companies that have maintained this legacy all the way through and maintained this growth in 50 markets and so forth that we have. And it's because it's built on a foundation that's unique. It's different. It's not like everyone else. And we're going to talk about that. Starting off with the science. I just finished meeting with Joe, just for all those who are interested. Many of you know, Joe was recently had a couple of health issues that he was working through. And he just barely came from a meeting I was in, and you would never even know that there was an issue. He's doing great. He's had a full recovery. Everything's going wonderful. And so Joe is back, and he's I beat him to work this morning, but that doesn't happen very often. But really what Joe has done is set a unique precedence of taking what I call a pharmaceutical mindset and applied it to nutrition and also to the personal care side and beauty and wellness, and thinking about things in a much deeper way relative to clinical work and validation and scientific substantiation. This is really important. And so it's very rare that you have these scientists that you have all over the world that we have in an advisory board that consistently looks through the science to understand whether or not we're bringing the best products to the world, and whether it's not just putting a product into a bottle or into a tube. It's what is the combination of those ingredients, the amounts, and the unique synergies between them. And that's really what's important. So for those of you who haven't been exposed to Nu Skin, we have over 60 scientists globally. We've now done over 40 years of research, which this is very important. This piece right here is very important because we have data over the last 40 years. Many of the companies starting today don't have any data. They don't know their customer. They don't know the sales leaders. They don't understand the buying patterns. They don't understand how things improved and so forth. I mean, back in 2003, when Joe and the team was working on carotenoids, nobody even really knew what a carotenoid was. And didn't understand the benefits that it had for the skin and for the health and so forth. And then the scanner comes out and super successful. And for instance, LifePak's one of the scanner products, and it's we've done over, I think it's like $6 billion of LifePak, and the dollars isn't nearly as important and as meaningful as the amount of people who received, I should say, the benefits from LifePak and the nutrient gaps that they have on a daily basis that they were able to be filled. So 40 years of scientific research and practical experience. And now we're taking that with AI and ML and using it to help refine our innovation funnel so that we continue to come out with products that are meaningful, that will resonate with our wonderful sales leaders all over the world. As I mentioned, we have a scientific advisory board completely outside of the company that reviews and peer reviews all of the work that we do. We have clinical studies and published papers and so forth all over. It's really unique. And so people will look at this slide and say, well, what's different? I can promise you, as you are sharing these products or consuming these products on a daily basis, you have hundreds of people and billions of dollars behind you, supporting you, helping you, that when you get into a situation where you're trying to explain things and trying to work through the issues, it's not just you. There's a whole bunch of us that are all here helping you and supporting you. So just wanted to make sure you know that we have your back. If you look at this pipeline that we have, it is truly a proprietary, unique innovation pipeline. There's no real group in the world that has it. Let me explain what I mean when I say that. As you know, we have the scanner. We have over 25 million scanner data points. I went through all those last week. We know exactly how people have used the scanner, what products they've used, the benefits they've received, and the impact that it's had for them. We also know the types of products that they consume and what they're more likely to consume based upon the products that they consume to begin with. We have already over 12 million IO treatments. Think about this. We only brought this out less than 26 months ago as our first IO device. And we already have 12 million treatments, meaning we have people who have connected the device, whether it's a WellSpa or a LumiSpa, and put it on their face or on their bodies. And we now have information as to where they use it, why they use it, when they use it, that type of thing. Now, we don't know the individual's names. We don't know the individual where it's located and that sort of stuff in terms of people's homes. We're not invasive in any way. But we are very interested in finding out what you think is important and what is important. That helps refine our innovation process. But that data is gold for all of you as we continue to take this data, pull it together, and potentially share it with you, which is the biggest challenge because we have to do translations, we have to do all different types of regulatory review on it and so forth. But once we have it all together, we'll be able to empower you with this information so you'll have access to these products and these questions, these insights, and so forth, so that you can continue to share the products in the best way possible. We have over 1 billion purchase data points, and that's actually really low. We actually have more than that, meaning that, we know who bought what, when, that type of thing. We also do these home use tests, and we always try the products on us first, by the way. We're the very first users of the products before they ever go out. So we're products of the product. And we have currently over 162 formulas in our database right now that we are in development for, whether it's at a preclinical, clinical, formulary, scaling standpoint. So when you think about the amount of development work that's going on right now, it usually takes about 30 to 40 different products before we'll actually come up with one product, meaning that we come up with all these different versions of the product. We do the analysis, we do the studies, and then we come out with, okay, this is the exact right product in these right proportions in this specific ingredient listing. And so that's all done here at Nu Skin. So it takes a lot to get to one product. I talked about the clinical studies, the peer review research, and the supplier data that we have, as well as the global scientist input. And these analytical lab data points, this is the safety, the potency, and the purity. It goes back to this, you know, in the selection, sourcing, specification, standardization, safety, and substantiation, I know for a fact that this is undersold, meaning people are not talking about this enough. And I'm going to slow my cadence down for all the translators because I really want to make sure this connects. The success process is really unique to Nu Skin. Very few companies will really establish a clear path on selection of ingredients. They want to make sure that they're the correct ingredients. For instance, if we're going to get a blueberry or a bilberry or something like that, we want a specific level of anthocyanins. There probably is, I don't know, maybe a couple thousand vendors of bilberry or blueberry products, and they're sourced from all over the world. Where we select the purchase of that product determines the level of anthocyanins, which directly impacts the activity of the product. Same thing with T-Green, same thing with Cortemax, same thing with CS4, for instance, Colecin, LifePak. Every single ingredient we choose, we have to select it, not just that it meets the specification, but where is it grown in the world? How do they treat the people that are actually farming this? This is so important to us to understand. Are they being supported properly? Is this being harvested in a healthy, sustainable way? Are people being treated in a fair fashion? And that's part of the selection process. It has to be a great product, of course, but we also want to know how it's farmed and what's the process. What are they using to harvest it and so forth. So the sourcing, the specification, it's very clear. And we've talked about this so many times, but I'll share it again today. We have a very, very high bar when it comes to the specification of the ingredients that we have at Nu Skin. And you know what? There's a lot of companies that will just, it's brown and it's an herb and off it goes. And it has to meet this criteria. So we end up going, depending on the product, anywhere from 130 to 250 different tests to verify this specification is correct. And that's organoleptic, sensory, as well as microbiological and analytical. So there's a tremendous amount of work there. In addition to that, we do the standardization process. We want to know what the active constituents do and how they benefit the consumer and the person who's using it. What's going to happen? Can I share this with my friends, my family? So we standardize the products to make sure that we're getting the best active constituents. Of course, we have to go through the safety process. The safety process is critical for us. If it's not safe, obviously it never even crosses the innovation pipeline. So we don't even mess with it if it's not safe. And then substantiation wise, once we know we've got a great product, then we continue to substantiate it and substantiate. In fact, that's what I was talking about with those thousands of clinical studies. We do more studies after we've actually put the product out than we do beforehand. We do a lot of studies beforehand, but we validate and validate and validate what we've shared. And that substantiation is massive. So this success process is unique to Nu Skin. This is not something you do not see success anywhere else. You won't find success anywhere else in terms of the way that we do it specifically for us. There's people who talk about these things, but there's not necessarily anybody who's formalized it in a process like we have here at Nu Skin. If you want to look at our global integration, so we vertically integrated our entire organization so that we could be able to have global supply and distribution. As you can see, we have manufacturing and supply all over the world. And what we've done is we've tried to move to the best manufacturing location for the best source of product. So it's the freshest and the purest, as well as the most effective cost. And we want to move all of our supply closer to the demand signal or to our customer who is needing the product. So we have obviously manufacturers locally that we do a lot of our manufacturing for. We have some in South America, South Africa, obviously in Asia, and certainly, as you can see, a lot in Europe. If you look at where we're going, this is kind of a global standpoint as we look at this business. 2024 is a big year. It's our 40th year anniversary, and we don't want to let it slide by without saying it's a new year. And no matter what happened in the past, good, bad, or otherwise, you have an opportunity here to do something truly, truly special, something different, something unlike what's ever been done before. And when people say, oh yeah, I was back there when, oh, you know what? That was then. Here is now, and here is you. And where are you at? We're already in the middle of almost February. Where are you at? And are you focused? Are you driven? One thing I'll note is when I was in Europe, it was interesting. I was talking to leaders, and when I was talking to leaders, the leaders who came up to me and talked to me about how they were building their business, the products they loved, how they were organizing things, and the way that they had a healthy level of optimism was amazing. And they were the ones who were growing. The ones who came up immediately with questions and problems and challenges. I'm not saying that you can't have questions and problems and challenges, because those are real, but that's where they started and almost spent 95% of their time. Those individuals typically, not always, but typically weren't growing. And so which one are you going to be? Are you going to be the one who's going to continue to focus on the challenges? So in the middle of Barcelona, interestingly enough, I met with one of the key leaders. I'll leave the name out because I don't want to, I didn't tell them I was going to talk about them. And they're one of the most successful leaders there in Europe. And I had talked to them for about 20 minutes, and I said, they were just super excited, super positive. Were telling me all the great things they were doing, how their team was building and the products they loved and all that sort of thing. And I was so excited. And then I talked with Michel, and I said, this person's amazing. Michel says, oh, you can't even imagine, just fantastic. I said, well, what all these problems that these other ones are talking about, are they not affecting them? And they said, no, they're affecting them directly, but they have pushed forward. They control what they can control, and they don't get caught up in this other stuff. And so I went back to that sales leader, and I put my arm around him. I said, you're amazing. You are absolutely amazing. I said, so you know about this issue, this issue, this issue. And of course I do. And I said, it's impacted your business, hasn't it? She said, absolutely it has. I said, but you didn't mention that earlier. And she went, why? What good does it do? I mean, you know what the issue is. I know what the issue is, but I'm not going to spend time there. I'm going to spend time on growing the business. So it's a new year. It's a new you. It's a new opportunity, because the reality is of what got us where we are today is not necessarily where it's going to get you tomorrow. Obviously the airplane that we have, is not going to get us into outer space, and it just won't work. And so we will need digital tools. We will need the opportunity to leverage the technology in a different way than we've ever done it before. Our approaches will be different. The way we talk is going to be different. But that doesn't mean the core principles change. Integrity has to stay there. Humble, hungry, smart, and honest. Those principles are absolutely critical. Humble, hungry, smart, honest. Those are core principles in terms of being a force for good. Those things will never change. But the way in which you utilize technology, the products, how you talk to people, and your mindset is everything. And every time I talk, I've gone all over the world: China, Japan, Korea, Australia, obviously Europe. It doesn't matter where I go in the world, there's problems and there's opportunities. And the ones who are winning are the ones who are indexing towards the opportunities. It's every single place I go. Now, that doesn't mean they have a blind eye to the problems, and doesn't mean they don't have a real challenge that they want to address, and they can do it in a respectful manner. But man, what got us to where we are today, it's worked, but it won't necessarily get us to where we're going to go tomorrow and for the next 40 years. So That's what I want to talk about is the next 40 years. It's a big world, 8 billion people. There's big opportunities. But what's interesting is it's the smallest this world has ever been, meaning you can connect with more people now than you could have ever connected before, ever. People know what the weather is anywhere in the world. They know what's going on from a government standpoint anywhere in the world. You know how your friends are doing, and it doesn't cost you thousands of dollars to make a phone call to somebody. You can text them, call them, you can send a social media post. You can literally in one day connect with 1 million people if you wanted to. And if you had enough people who were interested in knowing what you had to say, you can connect with them within literally a second. Take a screenshot, done, and it's sent. You have that type of power and influence, unlike any other opportunity in the history to date. So you are in the perfect position to win. And when we look at our mission to be a force for good by empowering people to improve lives, I hope in your mind you're saying, okay, how am I doing this? What am I doing? Am I using the tools I've been given? Am I using the products I've been given? Am I using my given gifts that I've been given as a person to improve? And you're the best you, because there's no one else other than you to do it. And if we think about where we're going in 2025, and we're going for 2 years out, we know this intersection of beauty and wellness and being able to leverage digital through these affiliate platforms is going to be huge. It's going to be massive. But like I said, when I was in Europe, no matter how much we use our phones, no matter how much we love using our phones, you can't hug somebody through a phone. You just can't. You can send a hug. I think there's like a little emoji that's a hug, but you can't hug somebody. And I was able to hug, I don't know, maybe 100 people when I was in Barcelona, and that was awesome. And then also her handshake, fist pump, look them eye to eye, talk to them. That's power. Now you add the scale and reach of a digital platform that can go further when you have friends that are all over the world. You can't be everywhere all the time, but you certainly can replicate yourself. There's nothing better than in person, but the second best thing is actually having the digital tools to share. So that's where we're going. This is it. Simple, fast, easy. These two apps are going to get better and better and better, and you're going to be able to have the ability to share products and shop share, testimonials, clinicals, research, documentation. Basically, you can run this whole business right here on this phone. That is it. You need one of these and the right mindset, and you're off to the races. I mean, that's really what you need. And it's just, this is where we're going. Now, is it perfect? Nope. And neither was any digital application to begin with. The products are fantastic. There's no question about that. But the digital applications, we're learning, we're growing, we're getting better. But we've actually partnered with groups that have partnered with multi-billion-dollar organizations to refine our process and our entry point so that you can be able to use these apps and our phones in a simple, fast, and easy way. So essentially what we're trying to do is we're saying, okay, we got the products, and these products are there to empower you. Okay, that's what Empower Me is all about. It's about taking these wonderful world-class products, #1 in the world products, and sharing them with the world. Just to give you some perspective, less than 1% of the world even knows who Nu Skin is. That gives you 99% total available market, addressable market, however you want to call it. I mean, that means that there is literally not 7.99999 billion people who are like going, who's Nu Skin? And then of those individuals, those billions of people, how many people do you walk past? Do you know? Do you connect with? Who could love the products that you're loving? Who could share the products that you're sharing? Who could enjoy a quality of life, for instance, that perhaps you've achieved or that you know somebody who has achieved within the Nu Skin family? That's the difference. And so the whole goal here is to empower you to get to that next level. So I'm going to talk more specifically about empowered me, and more specifically about personalized beauty and wellness, because I think it'll be really, really important to understand, well, why are we so big on this? You do not want to miss this next couple of slides. This is the slides that you want to understand why you're getting up in the morning and what you're doing from a data and from an analytics standpoint. Of course, from a heart standpoint, we know why you're doing it, because you love what you do and you're a product of the product, but this is why. Check this out. And personalized beauty and wellness may sound to you like you've heard it before. And then we've got all these wonderful products. We've had AP24, now we have Lash and Brow, we have LumiSpa, and some things we take for granted. There's virtually no company I know of that has the types and reach of product that Nu Skin has in both the beauty and wellness piece. There's some incredible beauty companies, some incredible wellness companies, but there's very few companies that have a balanced portfolio that does both, and that now has done the research to validate the connection between beauty and wellness. In fact, coming up in, I think it's about 6 weeks, I'm going to have a new presentation. I'll share it with you guys. If you want, Michelle, I'll come back and I'll do another presentation. We actually show what a drop of lotion, what it does on the skin and where it goes into the bloodstream and where it gets transferred to all the organs inside your body. It actually shows the entire process. Okay. So if you think by putting something on your skin that doesn't affect the rest of your body internally, you're wrong. Vice versa. We actually will show you when you take something inside of your body, like a capsule or a soft gel, how that goes into the duodenum, gets digested, absorbed, and then now dispersed into the organs and so forth, and then back out onto your skin. There is a direct correlation between your skin and your gut, because your skin's your biggest organ. And what Nu Skin really focuses on is that melding, that wellness integration of beauty and wellness. And we know this, we've been doing this for a long time, but this is what's so amazing, is the rest of the world, the 8 billion people that are out there, this is the message they're getting right now. Beauty and wellness integrated is where it needs to be. Now, this is a source coming from an independent group, McKinsey & Company, and this is a beauty report. So it's called the State of Fashion for Beauty. So this has nothing to do with wellness per se. It's usually a beauty summary, okay? And it talks about specifically the benefits of beauty, how big the market is, what's the trends, what's happening, all those types of things, okay? They boiled it down to 3 things, 3 very specific things. They said, here's the deal. Number 1, beauty is continuing to go on an upward trajectory. Unlike a lot of markets, this one continues to just grow and grow and grow and grow. In 2027, it just keeps growing, okay? It's just, we're on the right way. So there's an enormous opportunity for the growth from wellness to ultra luxury, as well as geographically for Middle East, India, all these types of things. Now, look at number 2, and this is so important. The melding of wellness and beauty will only become more pronounced in the years ahead. Now, I want to highlight some things here. As consumers are increasingly engaging with beauty products and services to not only look good, but also feel good, the combined opportunity representing close to $2 trillion globally for you, brand affiliates, for sales leaders, for influencers, for people who are part of the Nu Skin world. This opportunity represents an untapped opportunity for many, but a massive opportunity for you, with first mover advantage for the players that get it right. You're already here. You're positioned perfectly in the beauty and wellness space to take advantage of this trend, 2 trillion. This is where the world, again, remember, this is a beauty deck that said the biggest thing in beauty is wellness. That's the integrated beauty and wellness. And then they follow up to say, and by the way, you got to make sure this is really clear. Consumers are increasingly diverse and digitally savvy. back to our discussion on the phones, back to our discussion on apps, getting digitally savvy. Now, just phones are a means to an end, right? It's the products that people want, but making it simple, easy to actually get those products and share those products is important. But here's some other things that are really important. They want to have efficacy, brand transparency, sustainability, diversity, and inclusion. These are really important to the younger generation and to the older generation. So while targeting other generations, this will be a critical part of the puzzle. This is Nu Skin's roadmap. And it just so happens that an independent source, globally well-known source, said this is where it's supposed to be. So if you want to know if you're in the right place at the right time to do this, you are. The only challenge is you not deciding to embrace it. Now, check this out. Right now, there is no greater growth vehicle within the beauty segment than wellness. There's $1.5 trillion in global wellness, and it's supposed to grow at a massive CAGR. The focus on aesthetic and holistic well-being is massive. Now, this is really, really important. Go to the very bottom of this last slide. It says Europe wellness market is 130 billion. 130 billion isn't relatively small, but they called it small. 130 billion, but it's expected to expand by close to 10% annually. That's just in Europe. So think about this for a standpoint. You know, as in terms of what we do in Europe, we're not even doing 10%, not even 5% of that, right? Massive opportunity here. It's going to continue to grow if you're in the right place specifically for Europe. So what are we doing? Well, we have the world's number one brand for beauty device systems. And we've had it for many, many years now. And we've taken this LumiSpa IO where we've combined, again, digitally savvy technology, IO technology, to help with gorgeous, glowing, selfie-ready skin because we know where people are. We've also personalized those skincare routines because everybody's different. And we've actually clinically proven the benefits of LumiSpa. Okay. And because this is a general presentation, please always refer back to your local regulatory requirements that's found on the PDP pages that will tell you what you can specifically state in your area, your market, your business, and so forth. So stay within the confines of what you can say. The regulatory teams, the legal teams have done a fantastic job coming up with ways to share this information in a legally compliant way. Take a couple of minutes, invest in yourselves, read it, digest it, have it ready to go, and make it happen. All right. Now, so that's collagen production, if you will, from a LumiSpa standpoint. We know what it does. We know what the impact it has on the microbiome on your face because it's soft, but yet it cleanses it in a way that's different than anything else. Could we do something that's external? So that's on the outside and the skin going in. How about on the inside going out? And then you have Beauty Focus Collagen Plus. So let me explain something so really important. Number one brand right now at Nu Skin is the LumiSpa. Number one brand in year to date. Guess who the number one market is for LumiSpa because of the rose gold promotion that you did? It's Europe. You are number one in the whole world. So congratulations, Europe. You started off the year cranking. Well done on your LumiSpa Rose Gold. Congratulations to all you leaders who are here today, who took part of that. All those who missed the opportunity, I'm sorry. But that number one beauty device brand is a large part a result of you in Europe who know the value of the LumiSpa. And you also know the benefits of Beauty Focus Collagen Plus because collectively, you are one of the largest markets for Beauty Focus Collagen Plus, biggest. So you have already identified this combination of how this works. Beauty Focus Collagen Plus, when it's combined with LumiSpa, again, remember, where's the beauty market going to go? It's in wellness. And how does it do? The intersection, this melding of skin and inside beauty, outside beauty. It's all right here. And that's right where you are. And that's where we're doing all of our design of our products. We just came out with WellSpa IO. Many of you have been part of that. In fact, it was funny. I was at a dinner in Barcelona And there was a group of people I was with, and they said, "Oh yeah, I heard WellSpa. We're not so sure about it," and so forth. And I said, "Well, who is sure about it?" And there was another individual who had just crushed it with WellSpa and was doing fantastic work with WellSpa. And I said, "How are you doing it?" And she explained her process, and it was super simple. And she has a pure passion belief about it. It's just amazing what she was able to do. It's incredible. And so what's the difference? There you had one person, same product, same opportunity, and one person crushed it. The other people were like, I don't know. It's okay. This is the first personalized beauty and wellness device. It's complete blue ocean. We'll talk about that in a second, with clinical results. And it actually has this great relationship. But you talk again, we have TRMe that you guys will be launching here coming up. And this new personalized weight management system could be a whole different ballgame. I'm using the global product here, but with this age-lock technology and this customized program, people are using it in combination with WellSpa, and it has changed the game for them. I can't tell you how many emails and or texts I get every single day from people who are just over the moon with the results they get in the combination of TRMe and WellSpa, and that intersection, that melding of beauty and wellness. It's amazing. So you think about LifePak, same concept. Again, remember thinking about it, beauty and wellness, internal, that's what we've seen the relationship with Celtrex. Celtrex in combination with LifePak is massive. These relationships, we're seeing these studies that are continuously showing results. And so the combination of these nutritional foundational products, both internally and externally, are making all the difference. It is these types of relationships. Companies typically will come out with a product and say, this is a great product, or that's a great product, or here's our personal care line, and here's our nutritional line over here. What we're saying is, yes, they're distinct lines, but together it's 1 + 1 can equal 3, 4, and 5. You see the same thing with, for instance, if you look at hair and you look at Beauty Focus Multi Beauty in combination with the hair mask, the relationship and the power, the amplification, the relationship is so much better. You're not working with a company and you're not sharing products from a company that's just shoving products out there into the world. They're doing the research, the science, and the synergies to be able to create the best outcomes for the people you share these products with. It really is a whole different ballgame at Nu Skin. We're completely unique. It is a different philosophy in terms of the approach to the business. Now, if you think about it from this standpoint, there is a relationship on LumiSpa. Now, I am going to share this. I'm going to go back a couple right here to this one because I saw that one of the things didn't come through on this slide. I want to take a real quick deep dive on WellSpa real fast. I want to hit this so you know how important this is. WellSpa is a game changer, both from a wellness standpoint and from a beauty standpoint. And there's multiple different versions of that. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I will stop this and I'll share with you one other thing so you can see this. It's a whole different ball game. And Michelle, how are we doing on time? Are we okay?
Yeah, we are. We have still 15 minutes for the hour, but I'm sure you can run over a little bit if you need more time. But
No, I won't take too much more time. I just wanted to make sure that we had all the information so that you could see this coming out. It's really quite amazing what's happened. The products themselves are incredible, and I'm sorry I have such a hard time not talking too long because I enjoy these products so much, and they're truly unique. But here we go. All right. I'll go right here. Boom. Okay. Can you see that okay?
yes, we can.
Okay. Thanks, Michael. So I'm going to hit this really quick, but do your own work and actually the better try it and just see what it does. The reason we designed WellSpa was because we received time and time again the desire of people to have a more functional tool. So for instance, an iPhone, it solved 3 problems in one. It, number one, provided a communication device, a phone, if you will. It also provided the ability to have all of your music in one place. So you don't have to have an iPod or anything else to play music. You can all have it right here. And then also an internet tool, right? So those are the 3 fundamentals. And now it's expanded into over 1 million apps and so forth. And you can do all sorts of things, traffic and weather and buy stuff and whatever. But that was the concept. And for us to be able to revitalize, restore, and recover in terms of your body, whether it's a pre-workout in a holistic way, this is a totally different way of looking at it. This design is totally different than anything everybody's ever seen before. A lot of people have talked about the Galvanics, which are phenomenal products. The microcurrent in this technology is more powerful and more unique, and it's adaptive microcurrent. The reason that's important is it adjusts based on where it is on your body. Every single second, it makes an adjustment to where you are in your body. If you're on your arm, or whether you're on your thigh, whether you're on your backside, or whether you're on your calf, it automatically will do a measurement to find the impedance. And then it'll say how hard it needs to drive the current in to get to the optimal place in your body. And that consistently loops in. And then it provides insights to provide the best experience for you so that it gives you the exact right amount of currents.
Steve, can you do the full slide? Sorry to drop. You maybe press the slide show button because we now see the slides.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we see it, but we see also the other slides that you're going to present. Maybe you want to click slide show so we see the full dia.
Can you see that? Is that a little bit better?
Yeah, but I think you still see yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So from a design standpoint, there's a couple of key things. Number one is in the original spas, you did not know whether they were on or off necessarily because there was this, there was concern whether it is on or not. It was so quiet and subtle. Now we have LED indicators. We have a power button that you can see. We put a medical grade silicone sleeve, so help from the, basically repel water. And then we also have a speaker that actually can talk to you and tell you whether or not it was actually working out. So now you can actually see it in motion. The other thing we have is a demo mode. So now you can actually see what's happening inside on every individual person. So no matter when you use this product, every single time you use this product, it'll be different. Not just for you, but for everybody who uses it, because it's customizing it to where you are. Is there high humidity? Is there low temperature? How much sweat do you have on your arms? How much product do you have on your arms or your legs in the application source? For instance, how fast are you moving it? Those types of things are constantly being adjusted and making it the smartest device we've ever created. In fact, it adjusts 84 times per second. Think about that. 84 times per second. It's constantly doing these adjustments. So there's over 25,000 times per routine that it's constantly optimizing it to make sure it knows. It also provides you some insights as to whether or not you need more gel or contouring gel, whatever it may be that you're using it for, so you get the optimal experience. I hope it's not lost on you. This is complete blue ocean. There's nobody in the world can do this because this is our patents. These are our patents, our patent pending in some markets, but patents in other markets. And we'll probably get all the patents finalized, but this is unique to us. The adaptive current is unique, as well as these metallic nodes. These nodes were specifically designed to be able to do 2 primary things. Number one, provide a current into the body and stimulate inside the body. And number 2 was designed to stimulate the muscle and the fat tissue and so forth as it went by. And so those are the two things that it was really designed to do. And because of that, it's a totally different game. It's something unique. It's something different. Nobody else has it. And nobody has this contouring. This is a patent pending design. So when people say, oh, I've got something that does a current, or I have something that pounds my muscles. Well, you might have that, but you don't have the patent pending design. And you also don't have the clinical research that we do that shows this. Now, if you talk about sharing, it's a whole different ballgame. Okay. Think about this for a second. This is the difference when you talk about sharing. When we talk to people who have actually tried it, and this is as of, I think, the beginning of the year, people are saying from a consumer standpoint to share it, it's basically very easy, or it's easy, or neither. It's difficult is like it's like 15%. And then when you're actually a business partner, it's less than 8%. So like, this is one of the easiest things to share in the business. And then people can have an actual experience with it. They can feel it. And then what is the things that they're interested in? And this is the number one thing they're interested in, is beauty and wellness benefits. The factor that we can actually use something for both beauty and wellness is a big deal. The technology application, the scientific validation, the quality design, all those things are very, very important. But the number one thing is you finally have a device that's focused not just on beauty and not just on wellness, but on both in one device. Highly significant. So that's where we went to TRMe, went through all these other products. And so now let me just give you a glimpse, and we're almost finished here, but we're just getting started. I hope you're just getting started. I don't care whether you've been in the business for 40 years or whether you've been in the business for 4 days. I hope you feel like you're just getting started, because the journey is just getting started for us. We introduced this Beauty and Wellness Integrated in 2022. Okay. And the relationship between LumiSpa and Beauty Focus Collagen Plus, we did the studies and it showed the benefits. If you follow all the way through, you have TRMe now and WellSpa that was launched in 2023. I'm giving you a little hint. There's Ocean coming, and Ocean is going to be a game changer. And think about mindset, think about, cognitive abilities and those types of things, because we want to have a mind that is prepared for the world and the challenges that it has and the opportunities that it has. So, but don't just think of it as a supplement. Think of it also as a topical and a personal care product, and you'll learn a lot more a little bit later in the year. But we're so excited. We just got all of our clinicals back, and this is so exciting. I seriously, Ryan and I were talking about it just right before I came into this presentation, and we've never been so excited about the relationship of mind and body. When you think about WellSpa, TRMe, LumiSpa Collagen, and then Ocean, it's just unbelievable. But that's not it. We've got a whole plan that goes out 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028. The future that we have set up for beauty and wellness combined to capture the $2 trillion opportunity that we talked about at the very beginning of this. You are right in the middle of it. Connecting and melding, integrating beauty and wellness. You have the products. You actually have them. And they're going to keep coming, and they're going to be products that people are going to want, and they're going to be looking for, and they need somebody to help them. And you'll be able to do that. I hope the message you got today was that you are in a business that's truly unique. You can't really compare us to anyone else. There's no really comparison. It's not cliche. It's different here. The science, the studies, the 40 years of data, the information, the way in which we present products, the way we do our research, the way we connect beauty and wellness, it's just different. It's a business that is committed, absolutely committed to a holistic experience that people can use. There's not one person I can meet on the street that cannot be benefited by our products. There's just not. Every single person I meet, there is at least 1, 2, 3, or 4 products that potentially could really have a significant impact on their life. And for me, That's why I'm here today. That's why I flew to Barcelona. That's why I flew to Australia. That's why I flew to Korea. That's why I flew. So I fly all over the world because I know how this impacts and I know what quality of life means. And I know that all of you know what quality of life means. And many of you know somebody who's struggling right now for whatever reason, whether it's mind, body, whatever, financial, it doesn't matter. And you can be a blessing in their life. You can truly have a significant impact in their life. Otherwise, they go to a counter or to a retail store or to a commerce site that's not personal, that's not, has a relationship with that individual. You can actually build relationships. That's what's unique about our business. You can build relationships, personal relationships. You can connect with people. You can scale your business. It is truly a different deal. And you are perfectly positioned to capture this opportunity. So the big question is, we've got a pipeline of products. They're coming. We already have the #1 beauty brand in the world. We already have a cadre of 2,300 products that most companies would love to have. And we are in your neck of the woods. We are in Europe, and there is a possibility of some expansion that you want to stay tuned to in the future. But right now, you have the best the world has in terms of beauty and wellness. And you have the best opportunity I've ever seen. And so we're going to keep investing in digital. We're going to keep investing in manufacturing, and we're going to keep investing in you, because that's how we win. That's how we're successful. Together, globally, we're going to actually take this truly to the world and make it unique. And I'm so excited to be a part of this and be a part of just starting. We're the oldest and largest startup in the world, and we're so excited. So my question to you is, are you ready? What goals have you made? What decisions have you made? Are you intentional? Are you serious about really helping people in their lives? And if you are, welcome aboard, enjoy the ride, and let's go.
Thank you, Steve. I knew when we spoke about doing this webinar, you would do exactly an absolute job. And I think if we will be able to switch on everybody's sound, you'll have a standing ovation right now. If you would see the message that I get back, I think, you brought us the heart, the science, the business, all mixed into one huge opportunity. Yeah, people are very, very excited what I see in the chat. I'm sure there's lots and lots of questions. I see people want to, hear more, want slides. I want to make sure that we come back to all of you. We'll definitely am also very much looking forward to what you said. You're working on more presentations, so we're definitely going to invite you more. And I want to thank you for what you brought, your passion. I think it's obvious. You excite all of us. The opportunity it's huge. The time is now. So again, I want to thank you for your time. And I'm sure our team elites will see you in Dubai. And I think, and hopefully lots of people on this call. If you want to see Steven in person, go to Provo at the Nu Skin Live event in July is another opportunity. And we'll stay close in contact and see if we can get you at any other opportunity in one of our European events. And for sure, we'll be reaching out, Steve, to you to join once in a while a webinar like this to just keep us informed about all the good stuff that's happening in the Nu Skin world. So thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and have a great day, Steve, and we'll speak soon again. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.